Hey guys, what's up? Chief Pat here, and today bringing you guys a brand new Clash Royale video. And inside of this video, I'm going to be showing you guys what I think is the best Royale Giant deck inside of the entire game. Now, I played this deck all day yesterday, which was the last day in the season. I only played 2 days out of the 14-day season, and I actually ended up the number 3 player for the United States, and I think number 19 in the world, which with all the win trading that goes on at the top is honestly pretty impressive, so I was happy about that. But this deck actually has been working out for me really well. I took it from some other player who played it against me, and I really haven't found too many weaknesses in it, so I wanted to show it to you guys today inside of this video, give you some advice on how to play it and how to use the Royale Giant inside of it. Now, of course, Twitch chat had a really funny thing yesterday where they called the Royale Giant the Royal GG, so I think I'm going to call him the Royal GG from now on, because he obviously is way too strong and he should get nerfed sooner than later. I'm hoping it doesn't take a month and a half for nerfs for the Royale Giant to come out, similar to some balance changes we've seen previously for the Mortar and the Expo, but we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and start it off with this battle. I'll fireball down those barbarians right there, and as you can see, I've already chipped away on that left hand side, and even though he drops his princess, which is a great counter to those spear goblins right there, I can arrow her out, and now we've taken the tower. It looks like going to be below 2200 HP down to 2175, and you can see I'm just building up my elixir advantage. I'm building up those spear goblin huts, and I'm using that to my advantage as I push a lane, and then eventually I'll drop my Royale Giant down and to be able to assault that tower using a massive push. Now, you can see right now he does have a little bit of an elixir advantage. He'll play his elixir pump. I'm going to play my own elixir pump here, and something I want to talk about with you guys is that I don't think that the elixir pump, which obviously is involved in this deck, is very strong to play into people who are a higher level than you. I know on my second account, I tested this deck a lot, and my second account is a level 6 free to play that's usually in the Royal Arena or just outside of it at 2,000 trophies. And unfortunately, it doesn't work that well when playing people, because I play people who are like level 7, level 8, level 9, and when you're a level lower or 2 or 3 levels lower than someone, the elixir pump just really isn't that strong of a card, especially with that 20% nerf to its hit points. You can no longer really use it as an effective defense as you could previously for those like Hog Rider Zap push, Hog Freeze pushes, because it'll just get torn apart too easily. So I don't really recommend playing this deck if you are playing someone who's a higher level than you, which obviously you can't control, especially if you're a player who does really well for your level. You're going to be playing people higher level than you. But if you're someone who plays, let's say you're maybe like midway through, I don't know, Arena 5, where a lot of level 6s are, or Arena 4, I'm not exactly sure what the meta is. If you're playing people who are similar to your level, this deck works extremely well, and that's what I've been playing towards the top, because obviously everyone is level 13 up here, or at least most of the people are, and I really don't run into that problem. So looks like things are so good so far. We've taken the tower down to 1551 HP. You can see my spear goblins are just dominating the left-hand side of the map. He's going to drop another Royale Giant, so I'll throw a cannon right in front of it. Again, Royale Giant's range is ridiculous, but still, we're going to be able to take it out in just a moment. And obviously going to arrow down that princess once again. We've taken the tower down to 817 HP, and look at where he dropped his cannon. From here, I can assault it with my Royale Giant from the opposite side of the map. He drops his barbarians way too close, so my spear goblins will take those out, and with a full health Royale Giant, even with a really nicely played fireball by him, I can just keep snowballing this side of the map. I can just see what I can do right here. I'll drop a cannon right in front of his cannon, and then I'm actually going to follow up with another Royale Giant on the left-hand side, because I know he has nothing that can really stop it, other than the fireball. Or actually, he does have the barbarians right there, so it looks like he actually was able to get a little bit of troops in front of it, but still, taking that tower down to 335 HP, that means I'm in fireball arrow range. And even as he desperately pushed on the right-hand side, he wasn't able to take me out. I knew by dropping that one greedy Royale Giant, I could get that extra hit that I desperately needed on that tower, and because of that, arrows plus fireball mean the game, and overall, we took a pretty successful victory. So I ended up dropping some laugh emotes because this person left the clan because they were win trading. Pretty classic towards the end of the season. I'll talk about win trading for you guys in a later video again, for you people who don't know about it. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop into battle number 2 against XQZX. Again, going for that top 10, top 20 grind, and he's going to start off with a Royale Giant Princess push. Now, I play my Elixir Pump at the beginning. Pretty fatal flaw. He obviously plays a smart card with that Royale Giant right there, but he didn't have great backup for it, so he actually didn't get too much value out of doing that massive push. The Elixir Collector was still a bit tanky enough to be able to take that damage. Of course, with his Ice Wizard right here, he's going to be able to take a couple of hits off of my tower, but immediately after that goes down, I'm going to play my Spear Goblins, I'm going to play the Royale Giant, and you can see one of the best Royale Giant counters in the entire game, the Mini P.E.K.K.A, comes out of his deck and starts smacking away on my guy. So if you guys are playing against Royale Giant a lot, the Mini P.E.K.K.A is a fantastic counter, works out really well. You can see the Spear Goblin Hut actually is able to stop the Mini P.E.K.K.A in time right there, and he's going to play some arrows, which were honestly a little bit greedy. And now with his princess just barreling down on my spear goblin hut, I have to do something about it. So I play a cannon right in front. But overall, I don't even know if that was the best move, because he's just going to end up dropping a Royal Giant and assassinate my cannon over the water. I probably should have just played my arrows, but I was sort of a bit scared if he had a minion horde inside of his deck, even though I haven't seen minion horde a lot towards the very top over the last 2 days that I've been playing. But still, we really didn't take too much damage. We have about a 600 HP lead on that left-hand tower, so far so good. We're going to keep pumping up in the very back and get ready for another push down the left-hand side. Okay, so he's got the barbarians coming over. That's going to be a pretty simple fireball if I want to take him out. I actually ended up dropping my spear goblins to get a little bit more value to see if I could hold them off. And as the barbarians make their way forward, we're going to use the barbarians, or our own barbarians, to be able to take care of the ice wizard to start shooting down that Royal Giant right there. And he's actually going to get a decent push. However, we should have the opportunity for a counter attack. So arrows come out immediately. We've got the Royal Giant, the barbarians on the tower. He's going to throw some desperate arrows right there, and that's actually going to mean the first tower going down right now, giving us a 1 crown to 0 advantage. And that was just a result of him being a little bit over aggressive with that push. He dropped way too much stuff. He dropped the Royal Giant, he dropped the Ice Wizard, the Barbarians on the left-hand side. And by the time that all his troops were destroyed, my tower still had plenty of HP. And at that point, I had a massive amount of stuff coming through the other side. And that led to a pretty tough time for him for the rest of the defense. Now, we've got Barbarians going down on the Royal Giant. We've got really good cannon placement, being able to take them out. Arrows go down on the Princess. Mini P.E.K.K.A. is getting stuffed right there. And this one looks like it's all but over with 23 seconds left on the clock. We're going to play another Spear Goblin Hut, which I don't know why I call it the Spear Goblin Hut, because it's just called a Goblin Hut, but I've just gotten the habit of saying it. But with one more push down the left, we're going to stop that Mini P.E.K.K.A. with the Spear Goblins. We're going to play some more Barbarians as well. That should wrap up the game for a pretty simple 1 crown to 0 victory. We were never really in any danger after making that awesome counterattack. And one last Royal Giant right there in the center, and that's going to clean it up for a pretty decisive win. So you guys can see what I did there. I started stacking up my advantage with the Elixir pump as well as the Goblin Huts, and then when the time was right to strike, when he went a little bit too offensive with his push, I counterbalanced that with my Barbarians, with my Cannon, with my Spear Goblins, and then I played my own Royal Giant, and all the troops that were left over from his big push made it really easy for me to push that tower, because I still had some Barbarians left, as well as the Royal Giant, which was really healthy. And let's just go ahead and hop into one more battle, playing off actually against a mirror matchup of someone else using this deck. Now, I don't know who created this deck. I sort of just snagged it from someone at the top. I feel like it's somewhat relatively new. I don't know if this is the guy that created it or what, but let's go ahead and arrow down those Spear Goblins right there. Royal Giant's going to do actually some really good work against that crown tower, and we're going to take it all the way down to 2300 HP only a couple of seconds into the battle. All right, looks like this guy's a little bit fidgety with his cards. Sort of annoying when you're inside of replays, but still, let's drop our cannon, or actually our Barbarians, to be able to stop that Royal Giant. He'll of course counter it with the Fireball. And playing someone who has your exact same deck, which I sort of realized about probably about now inside of this battle, I knew that we were going to be in for a pretty long and drawn out battle where we just had to wait for someone to make a mistake. This type of game is purely based on skill, or this type of matchup is purely based on skill, when you guys have completely even cards and you're actually rocking the exact same cards. Of course, factors would be your starting hands. You can always get in trouble off your starting hand for a game, which I don't know if really was the case here. I'd have to look back and see, but still, we're doing a small push right now with our Spear Goblins as well as our Royal Giant. We take the tower down to 1450 HP, as well as get some serious value out of those arrows, but he definitely has a pretty big Elixir collector advantage right now, with one in the center with still plenty of HP, as well as he still has about 2 to 3 Elixir on me before he dropped that Royal Giant. Now, we don't have anything to play against that Royal Giant right now. He also has the Spear Goblins that are sort of filing up from the back. And with those arrows right here, I feel like he got semi-decent value, and he ended up taking my tower down to the exact same amount of hit points that his is at. So we're both at 1450 HP on our towers. We both have 2 Elixir pumps down. Okay, mine just died. We both have 1 Goblin Hut down, and yeah, things are really, really even going into the rest of this battle. So he makes a mistake right here. He drops his Goblin Hut right in front of the river, which means I can fireball out all of his troops. I can actually end up assassinating that Goblin Hut with my Royal Giant. I'm going to drop some barbarians right in front of my Royal Giant right there, but he gets a really nice fireball off that for some reason I wasn't expecting when I'm playing a guy with the exact same deck as me. Okay, so looks like the Spear Goblins are going to be able to assassinate that one last Spear Goblin before playing his Royal Giant. Cannon's going to go down as well. He's going to drop his arrows to get a little bit of value right there. You can see I played mine, or my Spear Goblins a little bit to the left, so I didn't have to end up worrying about that. Another counter push with our Royal Giant right here, which we'll fireball his barbarians out with, and we're actually going to get a crazy amount of hits off against the tower, bringing it all the way down to 264 HP, and his crazy card tapping has now officially stopped since he knows the game is all but over until we cycle back to our fireball. So he throws his fireball pretty desperately, trying to get to my tower. He actually gets a decent push in right there, and he takes our tower down to 548 HP, and with the massive amount of Spear Goblins coming my way, we're going to pick up the victory, and we ended up taking out the fidgety card guy with 48 seconds left in overtime. So that's how I play this deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a really fun deck. Again, I think it's strong, especially if you guys have even card levels, but with any deck that involves the Elixir pump, I don't feel like it's too strong when you're playing people who are higher level than you, so keep that in mind when you try it out. But try it out inside of friendly battles. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. And yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.